Have you ever wondered why some people bounce back from horror while others are haunted for life? PTSD isn't just getting over it. It's a psychological war zone where the brain rewires itself to survive. But at what cost? Picture this. A soldier returns home, but the battlefield follows him. That's PTSD in action. But here's the twist. It's not weakness, it's evolution gone wrong. Coming up in Act 2, the shocking event that sparks it all. Don't skip. You might recognize it in someone you love.
What single event could shatter your sanity? For PTSD sufferers, it's not always war or disaster. It could be a car crash, assault, or even witnessing something horrific. Psychologically, this is the index trauma, where your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, goes into overdrive. Adrenaline floods, etching the memory like acid on steel. But wait, why does the brain do this? In Act 3, we uncover the survival hack that backfires spectacularly. Keep watching. This could explain that recurring nightmare you've had. What if yoga silenced flashbacks? Mindfulness rewires the default mode network in PTSD brains, per fMRI studies. Even mdma-assisted therapy shows 68% remission. Holistic psychology is rising. But risks? Act 12 exposes the dark side, self-medication pitfalls. Keep watching. This act might inspire your next step.
Alcohol numbs PTSD pain temporarily, but psychology calls it a vicious cycle, worsening depression via GABA imbalance. Stats? 50% of PTSD sufferers abuse substances. Heartbreaking story. A first responder's downfall. Hope ahead? Act 13 reveals community support's power. Don't stop now. Connection is key. Isolation fuels PTSD, but social support buffers it psychologically. Oxytocin release calms the amygdala. Groups like AA for trauma heal through shared stories. Fact, peer support cuts symptoms by 30%. Uplifting? Act 14 tackles prevention, stopping PTSD before it starts. This is crucial.
Can we PTSD-proof society? Resilience training in schools builds coping via positive psychology. Early intervention post-trauma? 90% effective, but systemic change needed. Final hook, Act 15's call to action. How you can help. Almost there.
PTSD isn't unbeatable. With understanding, we destigmatize it. If you're struggling, seek help. Call the hotline. Talk to a pro. For others, listen without judgment. Remember, knowledge is power. Share this video if it hit home. You might save a life. Subscribe for more mind-bending psych dives. What's your take on PTSD? Comment below. Ever feel like your own mind is the enemy? In PTSD, the hippocampus, your memory organizer, shrinks under stress, turning vivid flashbacks into endless loops. It's like your brain's fight-or-flight switch is stuck on. Cortisol levels skyrocket, eroding neural pathways. Shocking stat, 70% of PTSD cases involve this hippocampal damage. But how does this turn everyday sounds into triggers? Act 4 reveals the hypervigilance trap that'll make you rethink being alert. You won't want to miss it. It hits closer to home than you think. What if every shadow hid a threat? PTSD psychology turns hypervigilance into a curse, scanning rooms, jumping at noises, because the prefrontal cortex, your rational thinker, takes a back seat. It's adaptive in danger, but in peace, it exhausts you. Real story. A survivor hears fireworks and dives for cover. Intrigued? Act 5 exposes the emotional numbness that follows, and why it's deadlier than the fear itself. Stay tuned. This numbness might be masking something in your life too. Imagine feeling nothing, no joy, no love, just void. PTSD's dissociative symptoms shut down emotions to protect you, but it's a psychological prison. The brain's dopamine pathways falter, leading to isolation. Fact, 80% of PTSD patients report this detachment. But here's the hook. It breeds addiction as an escape. In Act 6, we dive into the guilt and shame cycle that keeps the cycle spinning. Don't pause now. Understanding this could save a relationship. Why do survivors whisper, "It was my fault"? PTSD psychology amplifies survivor guilt through distorted cognitions. The brain replays what-ifs endlessly. This cognitive behavioral trap reinforces negative self-beliefs. Example, abuse victim thinks they deserved it. Mind-blowing? Act 7 uncovers how childhood shapes PTSD vulnerability. Keep going. This act might unlock why some traumas hit harder.
What if your PTSD started before the trauma? Developmental psychology shows early adversity, like neglect, weakens resilience, making the brain more PTSD prone. The ACE score, Adverse Childhood Experiences, predicts risk. Score over 4? Triple the odds. But resilience isn't doomed. Act 8 reveals the neuroplasticity hope that flips the script. You have to see this. It's the turning point.
Can a damaged mind heal itself? Yes. PTSD psychology highlights neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new pathways. Therapies like emdr stimulate this, reducing amygdala overactivity. Success rate? Up to 77% symptom reduction. Exciting? Act 9 explores the therapy wars, CBT versus exposure. Which wins? Don't skip. This could be your roadmap to recovery.
CBT or exposure therapy, which conquers PTSD? Cognitive behavioral therapy reshapes thoughts, while exposure confronts fears head-on. Psych studies show both slash symptoms by 50 to 60%, but combo packs a punch. Personal hook? Hear from a vet who faced the dragon. Act 10 dives into meds, the chemical fix or crutch. Stay with me, the side effects will shock you. Antidepressants like SSRIs tame PTSD's chaos by boosting serotonin. But is it a cure or a band-aid? Psychology warns 40% relapse without therapy. Side effects? Weight gain, numbness, but for some, it's life-saving. Teaser, Act 11 uncovers alternative heals. Yoga, MDMA, you won't believe the science.